Teachers and students are on the cusp of a new school year that's expected to begin in less than 2 weeks. But the question remains, will the teacher shortages that plagued the system for years continue to be a problem? The Director of Education explains to our Cleopatra Murphy how officials are addressing the issue.
More than 200 new educators are needed to address the teacher shortage within the public school system in the 2022-2023 academic year. Director of Education Marcellus Taylor says the Ministry of Education is aggressively working to fill those posts. This is after he says the COVID-19 pandemic and reliance on virtual learning placed particular strain on the education system.
When we were in the hybrid, it consumed a lot more teachers than when we were either in virtual or when we were in face-to-face, bringing all the students in as we would normally bring them in. We think coming into this year, we needed about 250 persons to support us, adequately resourcing schools. And so we think that we'll be able to get most, if not all, of that number.
Filling posts on family islands are particularly difficult, with Taylor identifying Abaco, the island still recovering from Hurricane Dorian, as one of those facing a pressing need, a situation he says is not helped by limited housing. Still, he says to address the shortages, the ministry has also cast its net further to teaching students who just graduated from the University of the Bahamas, other local institutions, and abroad.
We are at this point also looking at persons that we call craft instructors who may have a particular skill in a technical vocational subject, for example, who may not have the teacher credentials, but certainly know the skill and are able to impart it, and we will work with them internal training to help them with the pedagogical delivery. But the main thing is that they will be bringing the skill that we lack.
Government also engaged teachers' aides to assist with lower primary, pre-primary, and areas of special education, also hiring approximately 35 Cuban educators during the last term, while engaging more is being considered. Taylor says the most pressing areas that require teachers are special education and technical and vocational subjects.
When you go outside of the core technical vocational subjects from our curriculum, like the carpentry and the masonry, when you go into things like auto mechanics, or when you go into welding, or when you go into any of these areas, it is very difficult. And so these would be areas that we certainly need to boost.
While he says the ministry is laser focused on filling vacancies ahead of the new term, the approval process is not so cut and dry.
It's not just the person submitting an application, but the Ministry of Education personnel reviewing it, and then it going on to the police for security vetting. And sometimes people don't, check out on the security vetting, and then it has to go to public service, and then other things might be picked up. So it's a step-by-step process.
The new school year starts for public school students on August 29th. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Carey's Fabrics and Uniform Store wants to get you ready for back to school. Find ready-made uniforms and uniform fabrics for all schools in the Bahamas. Carey's also sells skirts, blouses, shirts, jumpers, boys' shorts, and pants. You can even have your uniform skirts custom made. Also find school bags, school supplies, socks, and underwear. That's Carey's Fabric and Uniform Store on Mackey Street. Call 393-0758.